got my real ones who gon' ride. I got my real ones who gon' slide. Yeah, they sticking by my side. Yeah, they sticking by my side. They got my back, they got my side. And if trouble come looking, yeah, my real ones help me hide. And I ain't even lying, but my real ones, they my pride. I make a way for my real ones to keep my circle small like some Fruity Loops. Keep my circle round me, we moving like a hula hoop. And I don't mess with too many people, I'm like, who are you? But if you real, I got you. When you need me, then I'm pulling through. Cause I ride for you, I slide for you whenever. Good vibes when we together. I'm down, they make me better. I know they really down for me, wherever, man, whenever. And if they doing something for you, they don't talk about it later. They ain't your real ones if they remind you of the favor. Not your real ones if they don't like you getting paper and everything you've prayed for. The crowd your biggest fans, but backstage they act like haters. I got my real ones who gon' ride. I got my real ones who gon' slide. Yeah, they sticking by my side. Yeah, they sticking by my side. They got my back, they got my side. And if trouble come looking, yeah, my real ones help me hide. And I ain't even lying, but my real ones, they my pride. I make a way for my real ones today. I don't like to go out, catch me chillin' in my backyard. All I need's my bro, them and a speaker, so we trap hard to a Zeno beat that slap hard. No limit like a black card, cause you know that's the best part. You know that's the best part, like I'm Daniel Caesar. And we steady getting greens just like a salad season. And if you know me, then you know I ain't a people pleaser. So if she move funny around me, I got to release her. And I won't fight or beat her. Cause energy is vital. Can't waste it on a rival. It's squad deep on a rival. We're together like the sun. I got my real ones who gon' ride. I got my real ones who gon' slide. Yeah, they sticking by my side. Yeah, they sticking by my side. They got my side. My real ones help me hide. Real ones in my pride. I make a way for my real ones today.
Welcome to your favorite late night sessions with your one and only Bean. Today we're joined by the amazing, the beautiful, the talented South Africa-based Zimbabwean trap soul singer, mental health activist, and fellow podcaster, by the way. But we'll get into that later. Zanele Ndlovu, aka TheLastLetter. Hey Z.
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm good, and how are you?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So for those who don't know you and are just finding out about you, who is Z? Who's TheLastLetter?
TheLastLetter is a musician, I guess, singer and rapper occasionally. Poet, filmmaker also. Based and actually born in SA to two Zimbabwean parents. So I am Zimbabwean, but also somewhat South African. And yeah, I just want to make some nice, impactful music.
Nice. I mean, it's sad that I have to keep asking this in a couple of interviews, but how are you coping? And how's the music coping during these mad times?
Yeah, it's been actually kind of hectic. Like, my mental state has been up and down, especially in the beginning. And in the first part of the lockdown in SA, when we literally couldn't go out. Now people actually go out, they actually socialize at their own risk, you know. But
Yeah.
before, when it was like legal, I lost like all my social skills. And then like the first day I met up with my friends and stuff, it was just so awkward. Like when we went back to school, I felt like I wasn't human anymore. I couldn't communicate. Like everything was, I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but everything was just so weird.
Yeah.
What about you?
You're okay. I'm alive. So first of all, I'm grateful for that. But I can relate with what you're saying. Like, you feel like you don't know how to socialize with people anymore. Like, it's awkward being in crowds now, but
Yeah.
and it's also awkward being without your mask at some point. So it's
Yeah, true.
but then we move. So, who or what would you say inspired your journey in the music industry, and how long have you been in it?
Okay. From young, I really wanted to be like, okay, when I say young, I mean like little kid, like 4. I really wanted to be a musician. I really looked up to them. And I also looked up to my sister, who actually passed when I was 5, and she had also wanted to be a musician, and she was like into acting and all the things that I'm actually interested in now, except, you know, she could draw but I can't. So watching her listen to music, and she would be playing music on MTV and dancing, and then, you know, being a little sister, because she was about like 16 at the time, being a little sister, I would just be copying everything she did. And then after she passed, I was, you know, just alone, and I had like just the TV and myself, and I would just watch Sierra and Rihanna and Beyonce, because they would play all the time on MTV. And I was just like, wow, those are my favorite singers. I'm gonna be a singer. I'm gonna be like them. I'm gonna wear those outfits and do those dances. Like, I was just so determined. And then of course you start growing up, and then you don't actually know how it's possible to do that, because when you're a child, it's just anything is possible. I mean, the older you get, you start wondering, is it possible? Can I actually do this? How? And then in 2018, I think it was, I released my first song with a friend of mine, Elize. And from then, that's when I was like, okay, I know how to do it. Well, I know how to make the music now. I knew nothing about how to put it out, blogs, interviews. So for all my first releases prior to 2020, I actually had like very little to no coverage on anything I did until last year, where I was like, you know what, let me be a bit more serious and not just release on SoundCloud, but also try and get like media involved and, you know, just put it on other platforms for everyone. So yeah.
Condolences on your sister. But I'm glad she inspired you. Look at you now.
Yeah.
So is there anything about the current developments in African music that excites you, that gives you hope?
Yeah, there's quite a lot actually. Like, especially seeing artists going international and artists blowing up, even artists that aren't from here, such as Shasha. She's also from Zim, but now like she's really big in both Zim and here, and she also has a BET award, which is just like very inspiring. It's like, just, you know, a homegirl from my country is out here doing all these big things internationally. You know, we usually see like Nigerian artists that are at the forefront of African music. So seeing artists that are a bit closer to home is really, really inspiring. So yeah, that just kind of has highlighted that, you know what, anything is really possible. Like, if them, why not you, really?
Yeah, it really is inspirational. And how do you think your hometown, or where you currently live, has affected you and influenced your music today?
Well, I grew up in Midrand in Johannesburg. It's influenced me, especially with my recent song that I released, Real Ones. It's literally about like my friends, and all my friends, pretty much most of my friends, are from Midrand. I went to school there, high school, lived there my whole life. And so it's really just shaped like all my good memories and just all the good times of growing up, and just feeling love from those around you, and just feeling at home, even though I don't live there anymore. Just feeling at home. That's what I think about when I think about Midrand, and so I channeled it. Like my other music doesn't really talk much about where I'm from, which I'm trying to start doing a bit more. But for that song specifically, yeah, my first thought was literally mid-city.
Actually, tell us a bit more about Real Ones. First of all, I really, really love that song. I love it so much. But what was the inspiration behind it? Like, how was the whole process of penning everything and putting everything together? How did it all come about?
I was literally just thinking within the context of the pandemic now, and how a lot of people haven't seen their real ones in a long time, or okay, maybe now they are starting to, but there's been that like distance and we're all kind of isolated. But I just wanted to write that down as a reminder that okay, like these people are still there and I appreciate them. So how about I just show appreciation to them, and anybody who like listens might relate or think of a loved one. It doesn't even have to be like a whole group of friends. It could be just one or two people. And then when I started writing the song, I had the chorus stuck in my head for the longest time. And then I met up with the producer I worked with, my good friend Zeno D, and he like and we had that flute that you hear in the song, which was made by another producer called Starbird. So he sent us like a bunch of these loops, and Zeno was just playing them all for me. And then when we got to the flute thing, I was like, whoa, let's put that on a beat. And then I sat there and I watched Zeno as he like made the beat, and I was like, I've got the perfect thing. This is the chorus. And I just started singing that chorus, and he was like, yo, this is dope. And then from there, during that session, I started writing down because I didn't have the verse or anything, just that chorus. Started writing and writing and writing. And then, we just recorded it that same day, and literally the rest was history.
Nice. Awesome stuff. So you're a songwriter, right? Do you also write for other people, or you are currently just writing for yourself?
I'm trying to get into writing for other people. So I invite artists. Like if on my social media, on one of my links, there's like a link to the site that I'm currently on that connects like all kinds of people in the music industry. Like if you're looking for a producer, songwriter, beats, anything, you go there. So I have my profile there, and so if people want a song written, if anyone wants a song written, they can literally just hit me up there, and we discuss about it a bit, and then I'll write the song for them.
Awesome stuff. I'll also put the link in the description box for anyone who wants to reach out and work with Z.
Thank you.
So you're, like I mentioned earlier, Z is a fellow podcaster. She's the host of Pink Room podcast, which is available on all major podcasting platforms. So you know what to do. Follow, like, share, subscribe.
Yes, please do.
So what's the Pink Room all about? What was the inspiration behind that, and how's it going so far?
The Pink Room is a podcast where I focus on like... Initially I wanted to interview artists only, but now it's kind of like a mixture of artists and other mental health advocates. So the primary focus is on mental wellness and mental health. So all topics pertain to that. So currently I interviewed a rapper called Ray Kaz from Zim, and that's the only episode out because at the time when I released it, I hadn't recorded like a lot of episodes back to back, and then a lot of things started happening and I got mad busy. So currently I've recorded other episodes already, so they're all just ready, waiting to be edited, so that from April I'll be able to just start putting out like maybe one every week or one every 2 weeks, so there's a bit more consistency. So yeah, the first episode we talked about like anxiety and his music and how it related to that. Then other episodes I like interview people who are part of like mental health organizations, people who actually suffer from certain mental illnesses, to just get their viewpoint on how it's like living with them. And yeah, so that's pretty much all that it's about.
Awesome stuff. And as a mental health activist, Many people suffer mental illness and find music as a tremendous outlet, like, on both ends, listening and putting out content. So do you think mental illness gets overlooked as an illness, or like how important is it to destigmatize mental illness?
Yeah, no, I think, okay, with our generation, it's starting to be like more recognized. Like they do understand the value and the importance of it. People understand what it is, and also people are starting to understand ways in which they can help themselves, even if they can't go to therapy or get medication. There's other forms of self therapy, and like Instagram is really like now turning into a place where there's a lot of these pages that have like these helpful wellness quotes. I've even started seeing people making reels on mental health and like giving tips, which I find like very amazing. So I follow a lot of those kind of accounts because I'm thinking, if I'm going to spend a lot of time on social media, which already just drains you mentally a lot, I might as well follow some things that while I'm here, they might just pop up and just help me out a bit, brighten my day, or remind me of something in a way. Maybe the older generation don't really understand it, but I feel like there's enough resources that the youth are learning that it's really okay now at this point. Like, even if we can't teach the older people, they can learn. The resources are there, but it's not like if they don't know it, we'll never be okay and all those kind of things. So I think we're in good hands. We just have to get more access to these things to other people, because there's also people in like other rural areas who can't just go on Instagram or get like those apps for therapy and all that. So that's the only concern that I really have right now, is how these messages and this learning and understanding can reach more underprivileged areas.
True. That's actually true. So self-love is part of taking care of yourself mentally. How do you recharge your own creativity batteries, and how do you practice your self-love moments and, relax and calm down and rest in order to get the creative juices flowing?
How I do that is I pray. I do pray about it. Like I'm Christian, so I value the importance of prayer, and also reading the Bible and understanding that, like, if I'm going through something or if I'm trying to prepare for anything, I need to bring it forth to God so that I can get more inspired or calm down, and like the word always has an answer. I also journal a lot. So if I'm in a very down mood, even if I'm in a good mood, like I'm trying to focus more on that, because like a lot of my journaling happens when I'm like in a state of chaos or sadness or anger. I just write it down, like, because I've realized that once I start writing it down, I'm like watching my emotions. I'm actually seeing them, and then I'm able to assess them better and understand them, and also like stop them. Like, okay, I'm feeling angry, but why? I'm kind of negotiating with myself instead of just like crying or feeling those emotions. I'm trying to look at myself and say, okay, why though? Why? Let's get to the bottom of this. So I write down a lot of things. So that's really mostly what I do. Just prayer, the Bible, journaling, and also affirmations. Saying affirmations to yourself can also help, because like what you say is also recorded on the brain, so you kind of also like trick your brain into thinking these are your thoughts while you say these positive things to yourself.
And you start believing them.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2021, are we expecting any upcoming releases, or is there anything in the pipeline?
Yes, definitely. I've finished recording my EP. I might add 1 or 2 more songs, but like, as for all the songs that I want on there, they're done. And we still have to sort out the release date for that. We haven't really fully gone into all the details yet, but the music itself is done. And also I shot a music video for Real Ones, so currently that's being edited, and it should be expected to come out sometime this month. So if you guys listen to my music, you can also be on the lookout for that.
Awesome stuff. Now, what advice would you give to other women starting out in the industry based on your own experiences of what support is available and what barriers women should expect in the industry or you maybe came across.
Okay. To get out there, you really do need to associate yourself with like the press and like blogs. And when I say press, I don't mean like the biggest blogs and the biggest things. Those will come eventually, but try and just get onto as many small blogs or as many blogs that you know, like any blog that you see that says promoting new musicians or upcoming musicians. Those are the kind of spaces that you need to be in, because the supporters that are there are really interested in what's not in the mainstream. So they're more likely to follow you and like really want to see your growth just because they know you're an upcoming artist. And then eventually, once you have a lot of these blogs, that's also how it will, like if someone had to Google your name, if the blogs have like a site, if it's not just an Instagram blog, if they have an actual site, when you Google yourself, you'll see like your pictures there and the article, the interview that you've done, which really helps people to know more about you. Also try to do a lot of interviews as well and just interact with people, you know, on your social media and on your Twitter. Just to make sure you interact with people and don't just like, come here, I dropped a song and then release it, and you just release the cover art without including a snippet, because a lot of the times it's the snippet that might get people to want to actually go and listen to the song. Nobody, like if they see the cover art, they're not going to be that driven. They want to already know that, oh, I'm going to like this when they go and check it out. No one likes to be disappointed, honestly. And
That's true.
In terms of the guys, it's kind of weird because in my experience, I've had guys like that are in media positions that would like approach me, but try to approach me on a personal level when I was trying to interact with them like professionally. You know what I mean? And then that kind of, but you still want to work with them because they're in a prominent position, but then you also know that this guy might try to make a move on me, which is going to make it weird for the rest of the situation. And you know, guys are just quite weird. Like they can't, like, you don't even know, like, are they trying to help me or are they just like attracted to me?
And then there's
Do they
the
want
uncertainty
something?
of, if I reject him, am I still gonna get the chance to put myself out there on their platform?
Exactly. So I've also like faced situations like that, which I didn't remove myself, but like somehow God removed that person from my situation through means of another thing that happened between us that just ended the relationship. And then at first I was upset, but then I remembered, no, but in the beginning this person approached me so weirdly and I didn't even want to work. Like I even discussed with people, I'm like, this happened, should I still work with them? And people were like, I don't think you should. But because of the fact that I was like, yo, I really do need this help, so now that person's out of my life. So it kind of worked out. But it does happen, and you must just be wary and don't be like me. Just if you see the red flags, just run. There's so many people in this industry that can really help you, especially in PR and like stuff like that. There's females in PR who will help you to curate that image in a way that's not gonna like exploit you or sexualize you if that's really not the brand that you're going for. So yeah, just really be careful of that.
True. And if you could give one message to the industry on how to better support gender balance in the music industry, what would that message be?
My message to the industry on how to better support this gender balance, I'd say just put the women on a bit more, because recently I was actually in a Clubhouse meeting, and then the same question was asked, like, okay, why aren't the girls like being showcased like on these blogs? Why aren't these pages reposting? Why aren't they being supported? And then someone was like, no, they must just work harder. And it's like, no, we really shouldn't. Some of us are on like equal levels. We've got like the same amount of talent, but if we're not like doing something that pleases guys, let me just say this, because I don't like slut shame or anything, because like some women are genuinely like that and that's how they feel liberated, but at the same time it appeals to the straight guys, and then they start blowing up more. And then if you're just a girl who doesn't really care about that kind of stuff, or you're just not about that, it's like you must start fighting to get like that attention. But the guys are just the guys, they're the homies, and some of them are actually kind of whack, but you know, just because they're the homies or they've got clout, it's just so this thing of clout and just over sexualizing everything is kind of just putting us at a disadvantage. So just stop that, listen to the music, take the talent for what it is besides what it looks like on the outside. And I feel like that's gonna really help to equalize this gap between men and women in the industry.
Yeah. And what advice do you have for other young listeners out there on chasing their passions in the music industry?
I say just go for it, but as soon as you decide to go for it, you have to make sure that you're about that for real. Like, it's not half in, half out. Because yes, for the past 3 years, I've been making music and putting out music, but I wasn't going for it. Like, the momentum wasn't there. I wasn't trying to make connections. You need to make valuable connections that you also offer an exchange of value with these people, because obviously no one wants to work for free. But even if you don't have money, make sure that there's some sort of value that the relationship is going to have. But make sure you also focus on that goal every day. Write down the actual goals that you want to attain, like including like numbers of streams, and like how brands you want to associate with, how many followers and people you want like supporting you. Like, write down all of that so that you have a clear vision that whatever you're doing from this point on is to get to that point. And yeah, that's really my biggest piece of advice.
Thank you. Any message of encouragement or any shout outs to anyone out there before we leave?
Messages of encouragement. Okay, if you're going through something, this is to anybody, please, at least, like, some people feel like there's nobody that wants to kind of listen to them, but there's always at least one person. But if it's really that dire, like it's that dire, you can shoot me a DM and I will definitely listen to you. If you don't want that, like, I'm a mental health activist, but I'm not gonna lie, my advice is not the greatest. Like, I oftentimes, like, if I can't even help myself, a lot of the time I'm like the last person to be helping someone else, but I can only talk from my experiences. But if you just want someone to listen, not necessarily actually like give you the advice, but you just want to get it off your chest, you can DM me, and if it's something I can relate to, then I'll help you through my experiences. And who do I want to send a special shout out? Well, I want to firstly shout out my mom for supporting me all the time, like everything that I'm doing. She really believes in the dream, which helps me believe in it too, because she's like so serious about it. Like, if I tell her something, she'll want to follow up. So how's the video going? So when is this gonna happen? What, like, how far, like she's like almost as if she's my manager. So I appreciate that. And I just want to shout out to everybody who listens to my music and supports me, and, like, you know, all my friends and fam and everyone who supports me and keeps encouraging me, like on times where I'm like, this thing might not work, or hey, nobody's trying to bump this track. There'll always be that one person who's like, no, you're doing great, and those kind of things just lift me up. So that's who I would like to give my shout outs to.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for being with us today. This was lovely.
Thank you.
It was lovely getting to know Z. We'll be looking out for the EP and everything else that's to come this year.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Take care. Stay safe.
All right. Bye. Thank you again. Bye, everyone. Stay pink.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the little catch-up session that we just had with Z, aka The Last Letter. The track at the beginning of the episode is Real Ones, and I'm leaving you guys with No Cap by The Last Letter. Enjoy, stay blessed. From your being with the biggest love.
Right now I'm chilling in a house on the hill. Think you could pull up, give me something I can feel. No time for games, better make this shit real. Shit real. Right now I pulled up from a house with a view. I'm switching lanes and I'm heading right to you. I'm trying to build, tell me what you trying to do. Be real, tell me the truth. Cause I don't wanna play like that. I don't wanna play like that. Cause I don't wanna play
nigga tryna ride with me. In my coupe, on the passenger side with me. Plane tickets in the sky, getting high with me. Never forget, certain shit wouldn't slide with me. That's if you cheat, if you beat, if you lie to me. I'ma have your ass wishing you ain't tried with me. Ay. I pull up like what it do, baby. And I never roll alone, I got my crew with me. No cap, he tryna cruise around town with me. But when I hopped into the whip, I peeped his tank on E. That's cap, your main nigga, he a side to me. That's facts, he wanna vibe with me, no cap.